So hello and welcome to all the viewers. So based on a request from the viewers, I will going to create now a tutorial for Spaceclaim. So very first we will start with small introduction to the Spaceclaim panels so that you will be familiar to Spaceclaim. So in order to open Spaceclaim, you first need to either drag and drop analysis system from here, or you can drag and drop component system from here. Okay, so you will find the geometry panel over here. You just need to double click so that it will present in your project schematic. So once your geometry panel is open, then you can right click and you can open a new Spaceclaim geometry. Okay, so once you will click on that, you will find your Spaceclaim window open in front of you. So when you open this Spaceclaim, you will find the very first panel, that is welcome to ANSYS, and here you will find the small introductions. So before starting that, you can go through this, so which will be helpful for you to understand. Like, you will go through the release notes. So present release note you will find over here. You can also go through the user guidance, and also you will find the customer support, health, as well as tutorials from this panel. The purpose of creating this starting video, introduction to that panel, so that you will more familiar with this Spaceclaim. So you will not find difficulties for each and every panel. So starting from the top, you will find on the top, this is nothing but your quick access toolbar. So here you will find various options, like you will find here open, so that you can open the existing design or you can open the new design. Then you will find the save toolbar, then undo, redo, and also here you will find the customization toolbar. So we will discuss this later on. So starting from that, then you will find the bottom one. This toolbar is nothing but your ribbon toolbar. So here you will find the various options. The very first, this is nothing but your file menu. So this file menu is basically useful for to incorporate a new design. Like, you can find over here new design, drawing sheets, and design and drawing, and even you can do the markup. So it is basically used for new design, or you can open geometry. Like, we will open this a butterfly ball. You will find the geometry of butterfly ball. Okay, now in addition to that, you can also save your geometry. You can save as, you can share, and you can print also. So that is all about your file menu. So here at the bottom, even if you want to close, you can close by clicking on exit Spaceclaim, and you will find there are few more Spaceclaim options. If you click over here, it will open the few options which are very useful. The very first, or we can every designer or analyst are interested, like the very first is units. So here you can find your units. So if you want, you can change that empirical or matrix. Even you will find the mass units, density. So here you can save these units for a present document, or you can even save for all new documents. And the next one, the very important thing is navigations. So navigation is, as we know that, very, we need to rotate or we need to work on a geometry. So that, for that we will need few of the controls, so like spin, pan, zoom. So here you will find a few controls when you want to spin the geometry, like middle mouse button. When you want to pan the geometry, like control plus middle mouse button. Similarly, zoom in, drag, and zoom in while. So even you can change this as per your user interface. Okay, and here you can even change that default, or you can select under this different alternatives. You will find the various alternatives, and you can select as per your interface. Okay, so that is all about your navigation. You will also find here a few of the, you want to zoom, spin, pan. So there are a few more options are available, you can find over here. Now let's talk about this here, as we discuss about the zoom pan. So very first you will find in after the file menu you will find the design in a quick toolbar. So in design you will find the Orient toolbar. So here you can find this pin. So like I am pressing the middle mouse button right now, you can click on the pan, you can do pan, or even you can press control button and your middle mouse button to do this. And here you will find the zoom extend, zoom in options, and you can even do the fog box zoom options. Okay, so that is all about your orientation. We'll discuss this remaining panels later on. Let's first discuss about, you will find one of the panel, that is structure panel. So this structure panels presents the geometries. You can find here the geometries in the your design window. So either you can suppress by clicking that, or you can even activate that. So here you will find in the display geometries, your lines, your angles, all this you will find in the structure panels. Like here, if you want to see handles, you want to see handle set, you want to click on shaft, so that you can easily figure out that from this structure panel. And below the structural panel you will find the option toolbar. So it is basically the option selections. So suppose if you are under any operation, like if you are doing pulling something, like if you are pulling this face, then you will find the options over here. Here you will find the various options that you want to perform, like if you want to drag, or if you want to rotate this geometry, if you want to revolve. So all these options you will find in the here option toolbar. Okay, so that is all about your options. Now the next toolbar, below this or next panel you will find the properties. So how to see these properties, like it is very useful when you want to do a drafting. In that case it will be very useful. Suppose if you are clicking on this respective face, then you will find the color of that respective face, and you will find the options like face type, like if you have chamfers or this. And suppose if you are selecting any respective bodies, then you will further found the properties related to that respective geometries. So here you can even find out the materials, whatever the materials you have assigned, that materials you can find out the under this properties panel. Okay, so that is all about your properties panel. And at the bottom you will find the status bar. Here you can find the status of your object, like click an object or double click to select the edge loop. Suppose if you are under the options, then it will display you what are the operations that pull one face. So similarly you will find information over here as well as at the bottom status bar. Okay, so what are the operations you will going to do, that operations you will find in the status bar. So in addition to that you will find further the selection toolbar over here, like what you are selecting face, then it will display over here. Suppose if you are selecting edge, it will display over here. Even it will also display the respective dimensions for the respective selections. Okay, so in addition to that you will also find few more options, like selection options like bar, box, lasso, or even paint. And here also, as we discussed, that pin, and if you want to rotate clockwise, if you want to unrotate clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise, you will find over here. In addition to that you will also have some Orient toolbars over here. In addition to that you will also have some zooms toolbars, what we saw in a zoom window. Okay, so that is all about your status bar. And so now if you move of the status bar, you will find the white window, white background window. So this is nothing but a design window or design structure, design panel. So here we will find the various assembly, various geometries on which we are working or we are doing different operations. Okay, so that is really important to see how we can work. So after this design window, I forgot to tell you, suppose if you are doing some pull operations, click over here. Now here you will find a small toolbar that is called a mini toolbar. So you will find here a various option, like if you want to add, if you want to subtract, then if you want to no merge, as add frozen or add material in case of design modeler. And you can also define the ruler like distance in order to do the pull, so that can be displayed in a mini toolbar what we saw in options. Okay, so that is there is no need to move or no need to go here, you can easily do with mini toolbar. Okay, now let's discuss further about this top, that is ribbon toolbar. So as we saw under the file that we can do various saving and opening options. Then the next tab is like design tab. So this is basically here we used to do the design. So very first you will find the copy paste option. So here like you can copy respect to sketch or respect to geometry, and then you can paste that. So that is what the advantage, that no need to repeat the geometry, you can simply copy and paste. And later on you will find the options which are useful to orient the geometry. And then next to it we will find the various sketch options where we can create sketches and then we can extrude the respective geometry. So here you will find you can the most regular tabs what we found in other CAD softwares. So like we can create a rectangle, sketch, circle, and we can perform a modification applications, like we can create, we can extrude that, we can chamfer, or we can trim the respective edges. So after the sketch you will find the most important, that is edit toolbar. So there are two important options like pull. So inside this pull we can here with the help of pull we can either pull or we can extrude, even we can revolve the respective geometry. So you will find that pull directions, you can define the respective pull direction, and you can pull the respective line, edge, or axis. And then even you can draft with the help of these push options, and then sweep. So all four operations can be performed with the help of pull options. And next to it, suppose if you want to move this respect to geometry, if you want to translate, then that can be done with the help of this move options. So here you can do either by trajectory or you can even rotate with respect to coordinates. Let's see here that it will display the respective triad, and here you can select all three axes, or even you can select the respective angles in order to reposition the objects. So that is all about your move commands. Then next to it you will find the fill. So suppose if you are saying some mismatches of, if gaps are present for your surface or for your holes, then you can easily fill that with the help of this fill commands. Then next to it you will find the intersect. So that is basically in order to perform the boolean operations. So here we can split the geometry, we can merge, and all the boolean operations can be performed with the help of this combined operations. And later on you will find there are few more commands, like you can create an axis, you can create a plane kind of thing. Okay, the next to it there is one more tab, that is a display. So here we can easily display or we can change the color, respective colors. And the next to that we can even change the graphics, like suppose if you want to wireframe, then you can do with the help of these style toolbars. Suppose if you want to make geometry transparent, then you can select that and you can do that respective transparent or opaque with the help of this style toolbar. Okay, so next to it you will further find that windows, like if you want to split in two windows, if you want to split in a four windows, and if you want to perform the various operations, then this will be very useful. And next to it these are the furthermore display options, like here suppose if you want to uncheck a word origin, then you will find there is no origins. So with the help of this you can easily check or uncheck, or you can display or undisplay the respective triad or other options like spin centers, space highlights. So all this can be done with the help of display toolbar. Then next to it you will find the assembly. So it is basically useful in order to perform the various assembly operations. So here you can even import, or you can insert the new geometries here with the help of this insert toolbar. And here even you can import the third parties uh, files with the help of your available internet source like TracePart or Cadence 3D models. You can also import from this assembly toolbar. And there are a few options like as we saw that when we used to do the assembly, that mostly the align, tangent and orient, so that can be done with the help of this assembly toolbar. Okay, and once your assembly is done, then you can also do some of the configurations like explode stress lines in under this assembly. So next to assembly you will find the measure toolbar. So here basically you can perform the various measure. If you want to measure the respective dimensions, you can easily do that. It will display the area as well as perimeter. And if you want to see the distance between these two, it can easily display the respective distances. So that is can be seen in a measure toolbar. Then next to it, if you want to see the properties for respect to object, then you can find that under this mass property options. Okay, then next to this you will find the facet that is basically useful. Now you can see some of the cleanup, and I think this is more useful in even optimization, where we found this facet, there we want to do some cleanup, so that can be done under this facet. But the next important tab is you will find the repair. So let's talk about the repair. Here under the repair you can see various navigating tool. Then you can do some stitching operations. So basically you can stitch the two surfaces. You can even see the missing faces. And if you see like if you have found any gaps between the two lines, or if you found many mismatch, then that can be easily find out with the help of these fixed curves. Okay, suppose if you want to merge the faces, then that can be easily done with the help of this adjust toolbar. So basically it is used for a geometry cleanup operations. Then next to it you will find the prepare toolbar. So here it is useful mostly for design as well as for analysis purpose, as well as to create the geometry for CFD, computational fluid dynamics. As we know that we need to create a volumes, so that can be done in a CFD. So you will find over here. Now in order to do FEA for a mappable or 2D geometries, that we can do with the help of extracting mid surfaces, and you will also find the enclosures. Okay, so that all you can do under this prepare. So basically in order to do prepare a geometry for analysis, that can be done with the help of prepare toolbar. Or basically in order to do the manufacturing, you will find this prepare toolbar helpful. Okay, and there are few more toolbars over here, like under the workbench you will find the attach ANSYS workbench, so that if you click it will go to your mechanical. So that even if you want to share or unshare that respect to assembly joints, then that can be done under this toolbar. But the very important here is that once your geometry is ready, you can simply click and then it will go to your respective analysis window. Then next in a detail you will find this is one of the important in order to do the drafting. So you can easily do the drafting with the help of this toolbar. Under this you will find the various annotations, as well as if you want to define any text, then you can find the various formats and the font and respective styles. In addition to that, you will also do the annotations as we used to do the regular drafting. So that can be done here. And there are four more there are few more additional drafting views that can be easily done with the help of this projections, as well as if you want to create any cross section, broken cross section, so that can be done with the help of this view. Okay, then next to that you will find sheet metal. So here it is basically used to work on a sheet metal geometries. As we know that for sheet metals we need to do a lot of operations, like we need to do a bead formation, we need to do a double wall. So that can be done over here. If you want to create any gussets, so you will find all this under this sheet metal toolbar. And you will find also a separate, like if you want to pull, move, what we saw in a design, so that can be done under this. So they had provided a separate for a sheet metal parts. So next to that, you will find furthermore features or tabs which are basically used for manufacturing in order to create a standard hold, in order to create workpieces, in order to move the geometry. So it is basically a manufacturing toolbar. And here also you will find the reverse engineering toolbars. So and next to these tools, you will find here you can easily incorporate the third parties tools bars. So for example, let's see the key shot. So here in under this key shot, we can find out the various rendering operations. So in order to do the render, so you can use these key shots. And suppose if your other features or other softwares extension, so you can easily incorporate it over here. Okay. So then one more thing, like suppose here I forgot to mention that if you want to rotate, or if you want easily drag and drop as per your as per your preference, you can move this respect to toolbars. So that is what the advantage. Suppose if you want to even uncheck this and you want bigger graphic window, so that can be done here. And you can simply put all hidden all these panels, and then you can utilize the complete design window. So that can be done with the help of simply drag and simply clicking on the respect to auto hide tabs. Okay, suppose if you want to further go to your initial window, then you can go to Spaceclaim options, and here under the appearance you will click on this. Then you will find your initial setup. Okay, so that can be done under this reset docking layout. There is one more option under the advanced. Here you can even do the reset all user defines, but for that we need to restart the our Spaceclaim. Okay, so that you will find over this in advanced toolbar. So I think we had covered almost all the toolbars, small introductions for all the tool panels which are useful for us to perform the CAD, that is computer aided design, as well as assembly, as well as detailing, as well as geometry preparations for our analysis in a Spaceclaim. So that's it. Then we will discuss later on the next steps in order to create, or in order to become a more confident on a Spaceclaim. So thank you. Bye bye. Take care.